A crowd gathered on Madison's south side today for a groundbreaking years in the making. A new housing complex designed to support young people aging out of foster care. WMTV's Shannon Najawan talked with the developer behind the project who has personal ties to the foster system and shares his vision for what comes next. Shannon.
Mark, Julian Walter's vision for Park Lofts goes beyond housing. It's about stability. Turning 18 can leave foster youth on their own and without a safety net. Park Lofts offers support and resources many leaving care early don't receive.
We have this artificial cutoff at age 18. Hey, good luck. You're out on your own.
For Julian Walters, that cutoff hits close to home.
Me being born into the foster care system, my older siblings were in foster care.
Born into the foster care system, with older siblings also in care, he knows firsthand the challenges young people face when in the system and in life after.
And my mom, through resources like what we're providing and services that Just Dane is providing, was able to get her family back together, stabilize, and grow us. And because of all of that, I'm here today.
Now Julian is leading the development of Park Lofts, a housing complex focused on youth aging out of foster care.
Something like this. It's visionary, it's inspirational.
He's partnered with Just Dane, a local organization with decades of experience supporting people facing housing and employment barriers, to build a full network of services.
It's the opportunity to help kids when they're coming out of the system feel grounded, be in community, be supported, be heard, be seen, and be mentored in so many ways.
Thursday's groundbreaking took place on Juneteenth, a day symbolizing freedom and new beginnings.
So people were denied the availability, the accessibility to a free life.
For Walters, this isn't just about building housing, it's about building belonging and making history.
And for me to be a black developer with access to wealth, land, the ability to build and make an impact on my community.
Creating a space where young people, especially those who felt overlooked, can feel grounded, empowered, and proud of where they come from.
I'm very proud to be a black man and a black developer in Madison, Wisconsin today.
The 44-unit Park Lofts project will include a green roof, fitness center, bike repair station, and on-site support services. A quarter of the units are set aside for youth aging out of foster care, with the rest available to lower-income households. Live in the studio, Shannon Najawan, WMTV 15 News.
Thanks, Shayna. Construction of the Park Lofts is expected to be completed by late next year. The city of Madison supported the project by providing land through its land banking program.